Dude, you lost 70 pounds?
Hmm.
Dude, oh, yeah, I was looking at that. That's a lot of weight,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
You're looking great.
Appreciate it.
You feel good?
Feel amazing.
I
Feel
bet.
absolutely amazing.
What would you accredit that to? Like, what were you doing to lose that weight?
Dude, honestly, man, so I've always been in like fitness and working out and things like that. I used to be a general manager for Club Fitness for like 7 years. And I
Okay.
was like in the fitness industry for a long time. Truthfully though, that was like the worst shape I had ever been in my entire life. Just because like it was, you're there 12 hours a day. It's like super stressful, like number driven and just like managing the business and stuff. So I really like didn't devote any time to like working out and stuff. So
hmm
it was all about like the business and growing it and stuff like that.
That's
Um,
that's the rub, right? Whenever you're really trying to like hustle, it's
yeah.
so hard to find that balance between
Yes.
taking care of yourself and,
Hmm.
and grinding on whatever it is you're grinding
Hmm.
on.
Yeah. And truthfully, man, COVID was like a big influence on that. I'm sure you had the same situation. Gyms were closed. You couldn't train jujitsu. You couldn't even go to like a fitness center because they were closed for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it was.
We went to the underground, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was training in a friend's basement.
Yeah. So do you know who Nick Bear is?
That name sounds
Yeah. So
familiar.
he's like the owner and CEO of BPN Supplements he's based out of Texas.
Okay.
Dude's a fucking monster, man. And I stumbled across this YouTube video one day, and I was like trying to find things to like stay motivated to work out because I couldn't go to the gym, couldn't train jujitsu or anything like that. And I started following him, man, and all he does is run. He does like like marathons, like he did like the Leadville 100 and all that stuff. And it was just super motivating, man. And I just started running, just got into running.
Okay.
Did my first half marathon last year, and started out horrible though, dude. I was like running 1 mile, could barely finish it, dying, gassing, lungs were on fire, and then now I run anywhere from 5 to 7 a day and stuff. It's
Nice.
crazy, man. Yeah,
Beast mode.
changed my
Would
life.
you like this?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, yeah, running is that thing that um whenever I'm really getting into it, I do enjoy the benefits of running, but it's one of those things that like either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah,
And but dude, I like to get into that flow state on like a good 5 mile run. You're just in your zone,
yeah, bro.
just fucking just going. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
And it was kind of like I needed something to replace that feeling of not having jujitsu in my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that humbling, like that getting your ass kicked, like kind of feel. So I just started running, man. Started
Yeah.
running, just working out in the garage, and the biggest thing for me, bro, was diet. Like diet and nutrition was like the hugest part of the transition to my weight loss. You know what I mean? Because I always worked out, trained, did all that stuff, but I was just like eating pizzas and hot pockets and just kind of like half-assing I was literally 20-80, and it should be 80-20. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it was the
100%.
opposite, and changed that, man, and went completely organic. Like all the food that I eat is like grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised eggs, humane-raised bacon, all that stuff. Like it's just changed my life, man. I
Yeah.
feel fucking great.
Nice,
You know what I mean?
nice.
Yeah,
And
bro.
so when did that turn happen? Like right in
Right as COVID hit,
right
man.
when COVID hit, everything was shut down.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I got
March of 2020.
Nice.
Once everything got locked down and stuff, like I said, I still needed that.
you turned that into a positive.
I did, man.
Yeah.
And COVID was definitely a positive for my life, and as fucked up as that sounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. It changed
I
my
really
life.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I trained so much jujitsu during COVID, dude. I taught 5 days a week at 6 a.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
I taught so many fucking classes. My jujitsu got exponentially better during that lockdown. Like I never stopped training.
I trained mentally. I was always watching videos.
Yeah.
I got super hooked on those Daisy Fresh guys, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I got to go up there and train one of these days.
Yeah,
Like,
we should go.
We should.
Yeah, dude. I like
definitely. I would
going up
love
there
to.
a lot. Yeah. I went up there during COVID and like they had fucking plastic bags all over the windows so nobody could see it and shit.
My coach still has that.
Yeah, yeah.
Boarded up fucking windows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to make it look like it's Or
Yeah.
fucking dude, there's so many cars outside though. How could you not know people are training up
Exactly.
there, dude?
Yeah, well, people live there, don't they? Like they live in their cars and shit. From what
Yeah,
I've seen. It's
yeah,
crazy.
man. You pull up there, man, and yeah, Wayne lives in an ambulance. He bought an ambulance. And he lives in that, and then yeah, you'll see George. He has a van. Fucking, I think
Wild.
Tad has two. He has a car that he drives, but then he also has a van there that he uses as like a fucking like a closet.
It's crazy.
It's wild up there, dude. And then there's the box that's attached to the gym, which Andrew used to live in, but now he has a house. He moved out. He
I
has
saw that. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Good.
follow those guys pretty religiously.
Yeah, man. I like them. It's so interesting because social media has changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with St. Charles MMA and Mike Rogers back
Yeah.
in 2009, and it was just a small little shithole, like just a small little gym,
Mm-hmm.
and and ever since I've ever been in this combat sport like space, I've always known people who just lived in gyms
Right.
and haven't had anything, and all they did was train.
Right.
So, like whenever like Andrew and Bird and those guys were living up there, and Alejandro and all those, that was just normal to me, because I've always kind of been around that. But I'm realizing like that shit isn't normal, which is why they're so fucking popular.
Right.
Right? Because nobody does that. But I'm just like, that's so normal. So with social media, and like they've just blown up right now. And shout out to Flow Grappling, right? Because that's totally why. It's so cool how everything shifted for them, but everybody's so fascinated with the way that they live, and I've just always taken it for granted. But it's real interesting. Yeah, like nobody lives like that.
Yeah. I think that's what drew me to them the most. I was just like, man, guys really do this. You know what I mean? Like this is as cutthroat as it gets. Like, this is real.
Dude, it's a real fucking thing. I know a lot of people who have just lived in gyms and still to this day. Like not outside of those guys. Like I know other people who are living in different gyms who are just living there and just training.
I think it would make them uncomfortable to like transition to like not living in one. You know what I mean? Like that's their lifestyle. It's all they know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
Ooh, yeah, man. I could have done that. If I had kids my son whenever I was 20.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and then my daughter whenever I was 22. So I started really early. Not a smart move.
Right.
However, had I not had kids, I totally could see myself. I could have lived in the gym and just not done shit and just been a gym bum.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be opposed to it. You know what I mean? I'm 30 now, so that wouldn't work out.
No,
so,
I'm 34, bro.
Right on.
I'm not trying to live in any gyms.
Yeah. And I don't know if I don't train to like be a world-class competitor or anything like that. I do it for more of like the self-defense, the discipline that it teaches you and stuff 100%. Like that. So
yeah, dude. So at this stage of the game, my favorite thing about jiu-jitsu is just the community.
Absolutely, man.
You know, I like just talking to people. I like sharing information. I like learning. I like going to different gyms and training with different people. There's so much just like camaraderie in the space. The best thing about jiu-jitsu is not actually doing jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. Is after you've just done jiu-jitsu and you're sitting on the mat and you're just bullshitting and like shooting the shit.
Yeah, we did that yesterday. It was amazing.
How many times have you just sat there on the mat for like an hour? Just like, oh fuck, dude, I gotta go, guys.
Literally, that was yesterday. Literally, it's crazy. And yeah, man, it's the community's so awesome too. But I also think like a lot of people are getting away from like cross training and stuff like that. That's actually a goal of mine this year. Is I want to start going to like different gyms.
Cross
and, like, training
more.
I've only trained at Adam Marburger.
Yeah,
I trained at his gym once.
The Alton family.
Yeah, just popped in there one of those days.
Him in court.
Yeah, I connected with Adam just through social media and stuff, kind of like I did with you, man.
Yeah,
so,
Adam's a great dude, man.
For sure.
Yeah,
smart guy.
Really good brown belt. You're probably close. Josh McKinney, if their head nod. I mean, you train with Mike
Rithmeyer.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Mike's a good black belt.
Yeah, he's
he's gotten in really good shape.
Yeah, he and I think a lot of it was due to his injuries and stuff too. Like I don't think a lot of people know he has like really bad arthritis in like both of his hips and stuff like that. He's had like stem cells. He's had them replaced, and he's still dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'd hate to see that guy healthy.
He's still just trucking along.
Yeah.
But he's in phenomenal shape compared to where he was.
I
mean, I've seen some before and after pictures he's posted. He's got in great shape.
He's been a big motivation in my life too. I've been last week was actually 5 years under him, and yeah, man, he's a super motivating guy. He's no fucking bullshit. He doesn't cookie cut or anything. Like we joke around and have fun in class, but like I love his style and his teaching technique and stuff. You know what I mean? So he's real, he's real by the book.
Nice.
So,
you're a blue belt, right?
Yeah.
5 years into this thing.
I've only been a blue belt for a year though. I was a white belt for a long time, man.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, no,
you take time off.
Yeah, and I'm a no-gi guy. I don't really care about rank, man. Like as long as I'm progressing and I can hold my own and I can feel like I'm getting better against higher level guys, that's really all that matters to me. You know what I mean? The belt's just a resemblance of, your dedication and stuff. So
it's just a part of it. Yeah, I mean the belts come is definitely more about just doing it. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people kind of follow. Everybody has their own journey, but I've noticed a lot of people kind of follow similar trends throughout their jiu-jitsu kind of journey. Like kind of all white belts kind of do similar things. Like in the beginning, everybody's so tense and just goes so hard, and it's like you learn how to calm down, you learn how to relax, and then you'll find yourself where, man, you start getting way too defensive. It's like, all right, now let me start being more offensive, start looking for some things, and then you start kind of playing with different things and really settling into your game as like a purple belt. So it's like this natural progression that everybody kind of goes through. Just not everybody's on the same timeline.
Yeah, I was definitely a slow starter. I never like wrestled or anything. I did anything combative growing up. I just started training jiu-jitsu when I was 26 or 27, and I'm just you get better as you go. You just keep showing up, man.
Yeah,
I think that's what I've learned the most. So
you were in the you worked in the gym space
hmm
before. So were you like have you always kind of been like in the fitness? Did you start off in the fitness space and then you transitioned into cannabis from there?
no, so I worked at Club Fitness for about 7 years. Was a general manager there for about 5.5, and they got bought out. You know, that whole transition where
Hmm.
like all the hard work and dedication that you had put in previously really didn't mean anything, and you're kind of
Yeah.
just like starting from zero. And the guys that took it over just kind of like we're bringing their friends in, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of one of those things.
So you started there as a GM?
No, I started there as an assistant GM.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
was
like
working at
running the business.
yeah, I was working at a car wash at the time. That was my first job, and I just got really cool with the manager there at the time. And he was like, "Man, you'd be a great fit here. I love your personality, blah blah blah, all this stuff." And
Okay.
I was like, "Sure." I was 18 at the time, so
Got
it
it.
sounded good. The money was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
so
good people. Like so you're a business guy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love business, man.
Oh,
I
dude.
love growth, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
geek out on business, bro.
Yeah, I bet. I see you do a lot, man. Yeah.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm in this space right now where I'm feeling a lot of fucking momentum right now,
Mhm.
and it's just like it's really funny because so my fiance and I were watching this show called Billions. Have you seen it? It's on
I
Showtime.
feel like I have. I feel like I've heard of
It's
it.
about this dude who's he's like he's a billionaire. He
Mhm.
trades. He runs a capital firm.
Oh, cool.
But there's a scene in there last night where the guy was talking about the dip. Which have you read that book, The
I
Dip by
have
Seth
actually.
Godin? So
Yeah,
he just
absolutely.
referenced that.
Yeah.
He's like the dip where you feel like it's the moment where you feel like it's right before you fail, but it's
Mhm.
really the moment right before you succeed, like
Correct.
the dip. So he said that, and it really resonated for me because I felt like in like October, November of like the year ending, like I was kind of in that space,
Yeah.
really in a negative headspace, and then like it just kind of turned in December, and then now I just feel like I'm on fucking rocket fuel.
That's awesome, man. I
Yeah,
love hearing that.
Seth Godin's the shit, dude.
Yeah, it's a great book. I tell you, read it. I've read some of those books you have here. I enjoy reading, man.
Yeah, dude. I was an overnight security guard.
Okay.
At one point for like 9 months,
Mhm.
and probably like in my early 20s, and I read so many fucking books. It was because it was just like 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
Like, all I could really do was read. So I
Mhm.
read like a book every 3 days.
That's badass.
I definitely went through all of Seth Godin's books. I read so many business books. It was actually a really pivotal time in my life because I learned how to learn. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like I wasn't very good at school or learning or
Same.
anything. Like I was okay. I figured out the thing, but
Mhm.
after that, I was just exceptionally better.
Yeah, I was a D student, man. I barely skimmed through high school. Never went to college. I've always just worked.
Yeah.
I believe that following your passion and doing what you want to do might not always mean you need to go to school and get educated. I think a big thing with like schooling is like if you're gonna go to school to be a doctor or medicine or like IT, those are obviously you have to go to school for things like that. But like for what you're doing, what I'm trying to do, man, I mean, you just gotta have some hard work, man. Some
Yeah.
discipline.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I think the narrative was like you're supposed to go this path. At least for me, growing up, like this
Mhm.
was like the narrative. You're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get a job. And you're supposed to do this, this, and this.
Mhm.
And I actually bought into that. Like I went and got my undergrad, and I went back and got my master's because I was working at Express Scripts, like this corporate space. I was in the call center.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I was there for like 3 fucking years. I'm like, man, I'm not getting any jobs. It was
Yeah.
like so I was like, all right, let me get my master's. That did help me get a better job, but then they hit me with the random drug tests, and I got fired for cannabis.
Damn.
Yeah, not because of my performance. I was actually fucking crushing it as a
Mhm.
project manager, and then that completely just shifted my whole paradigm and the way I look at things. I'm like, man, that was just such a waste
Yeah.
of just time. Because to your point, you can create any sort of opportunity for yourself. You don't need to go that path. Like you said, for some, for sure.
Sure.
But I don't know why like that. The message is changing now, but
Mhm.
at the time that was not something that was really being talked about.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, like with most companies, even where you want to work, you can just like start at the bottom. Start at a bare bones position, and just work yourself up.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've always done in my life.
Yeah,
So,
a lot
it
of
seems to
companies
work.
aren't requiring degrees anymore.
Most
Like
people
a
don't
lot of the
even
big
ask.
ones.
Yeah, like I personally like I do a lot of interviewing for my for my company and stuff, and I don't give a shit if you have a fucking bachelor's or a GED. You know what I mean? It's how you carry yourself, how you work, your work ethic and stuff. So
Yeah.
the problem with that though is like it's easy to interview people and hire, but it's hard to manage, and I think that's where a lot of people get that misconceptions because like their problems become your problem because they work for your company. You know what I mean? So it's like the biggest thing with managing and leading people, I think, is building that relationship with them. You know what I mean? So there's more to it than just like pointing fingers and telling them where to go and what position they need to do for the day and stuff. It's a relationship building thing, and I think once you can master that, everything else falls into place. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You gotta build that trust, right?
Absolutely. And same with you and me. Like if I'm showing up, like I expect you to show up too. You know what I mean? So I mean, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah,
So.
man. That is for sure the challenging thing, right? Managing all the different personalities
Mhm.
and different. I mean, because you can't take the same approach for every single person, right? It's so individual.
And I'll tell you too, Adam. Nowadays, man, it's like motherfuckers don't want to work. Like they don't want to work. They want to show up and get paid, and that is literally it. And it's just like those are the hardest people to manage, man.
Oh
So
yeah,
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 absolutely. But gotta do what you gotta do.
dude.
So.
The victim mentality runs deep today.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a guy on my team, and nothing was his fault ever.
Oh sure.
It's like
Yeah.
you got into a car accident, but it wasn't your fault. You were
Yeah.
late today, but it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
This is happening, but it's not your fault.
Yep.
It's hey, bro, listen, I don't have time for your shit.
Mhm.
Why is this not your fault? You gotta take some ownership.
Yep.
And then they get mad.
Yeah. We live in a world where people just live to make excuses, man, and they
Yeah.
think that's like the way to get through life now, which is fine. You can do that, but I don't want those people around me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not in my circle.
Well, the good news is there's enough of people like us that
Mhm.
don't think like that.
Right.
It makes it easier for us to win.
I agree. And the thing is, just don't have those people around you. That's what I've learned in
Yes.
my life, in the last
100%.
couple of years, So.
I think it's very important to like audit the energy that you
Mhm.
allow around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take an inventory on yourself, man. I follow a lot of the guys that you follow too, like Andy Frisella, all those guys, like Sean Whalen, and those guys have been a huge influence on like how I manage and what I do throughout my daily life too. So
Yeah.
just following people you want to be like, I think, is the first step, and then executing and doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to surround yourself with, the right people. You
Mhm.
got to, the things that you're watching and listening to, like, you
Mhm.
got to feed yourself the right things,
Yeah.
like, mentally
Yeah.
and also like how you eat. Like, all these things matter.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's gonna dictate like what kind of reality you're gonna have.
I agree. And I always say, you fuel your body with dog shit, man, you're gonna feel like dog shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean? And like always learning. Like I try to read a book a month. That's my goal. Sometimes I do good, sometimes I don't. But
Yeah.
I still get it done.
Yeah.
10 pages a day. That's like the goal.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid goal. I try
Yeah.
to do the same.
Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. Some days I'll read 20, and then I don't read for like 3 days, and then
Man, honestly, yeah, it's really it's the thing. I really enjoy reading.
Yeah.
But I'm not always consistent as I really would like to be.
Mhm.
I got to get better at that. Like yesterday, for example, from the moment I woke up until, yeah, I think I woke up I woke up at 7, and then from the moment I went to bed till 11, I was just going. I did 2 podcasts
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, dope.
I had a couple meetings. It was just
Mhm.
so fucking busy yesterday. I didn't even eat until the end of the day. I didn't drink nearly enough water yesterday.
Can't do that, bro.
I know, dude. Exactly. It was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, damn,
Yeah.
I am slacking today. It was just one of those days. I'm like, man. I thought to myself, all right, I did this today. I can't keep doing this because if I let this turn into 2 days, into 3 days, into 4 days,
Yeah.
it's a slippery slope, and you'll wake up and you'll be like, fuck, dude, I'm 20 pounds overweight and I
Yeah.
feel like shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah, dude.
I think if you win 90% of your week, you're in a good spot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everybody slacks off. I mean, even the most motivated, successful people, man, everybody has their days. Everybody falls off, whether it's a week, a day, one day out of the month, whatever.
Yeah.
So
You don't have to be perfect.
not at all. No.
Yeah.
I think if you are and you think you are, then you're gonna be right where you're at for the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
bro. That's
You know what I
ego.
mean? Yeah, for sure. Ego's huge.
Yeah.
Ego, discipline, confidence, man. Those are, if you have those two, confidence and discipline, I think you're gonna go very far in life. And
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people don't have, and I think a lot of people. It's easy to get motivated. It's hard to be disciplined. You know what I mean? Because like I could watch you do a video or like a badass move in jiu-jitsu, like cool, man, I'm gonna go train jiu-jitsu tomorrow, and then I don't train for 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
it's continually doing that every single day.
Right. Yeah. Motivation is fleeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's kind of like that whole getting the fire started, right? But it's not
Mhm.
gonna keep it going type shit.
Yeah, because I get asked all the time. They're like, "Man, how do you get up and run and then go train jiu-jitsu and do all this?" And I don't. It's not motivation for me anymore at this point. It's passion. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I enjoy it. It's part of my life.
Right.
Plan on doing it every single day.
What's a day look like for you?
Well, typical day. I work, 40, 50 hours a week, 5 days a week. If I go to work in the morning, usually I get there at 6 o'clock. I'm there till 2, 3 in the afternoon. I'll get home, chill for a little bit. Either I go train jiu-jitsu or I go run, go to the gym. Pretty simple life, man. Like I'm good for some beers and stuff on the weekend. And I definitely don't go out and party as much as I used to back in my early days.
Yeah.
I'm more about like growth and just trying to do the right thing, man, and be a good person and
Yeah.
be faithful to my girlfriend and all that stuff. Just be a good dog dad. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, simplicity is key, dude.
Yeah, dude. I believe in structure. I think a lot of my life I was just kind of like all over the place and, worrying about what other people were doing. And, I see Adam's training jiu-jitsu this weekend or he's out partying. I should be doing that, and not focusing on really myself. And that's something I've changed and pivoted over the last 24 months. And I think it's changed my life significantly.
Okay. Yeah,
for sure.
Dude, comparison's the thief of joy, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll fuck you up real bad.
Fucked me up for a long time, man. Early 20s all through high school. And I think the first part of that is, admitting that problem and then, correcting it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's something most young people deal with. That whole, as you're getting older, your brain's still not fully developed right when we actually graduate.
Correct.
High school. So our brain's still growing. We're still kind of coming into our own, figuring out who we are, our own self-identity.
Yeah.
Right? There's like that struggle whenever you're a teenager, right? You're trying to break from your parents. You're trying to just be your own person. And then you start figuring out who the fuck you are. But then there's this overwhelming feeling of like time running out and you need to make a choice. And then you start looking at all your peers and shit. And it all starts in my mind in high school. You're in like this artificial environment where everybody you're around is essentially, it's not like you chose to be around these people. You're just there because of proximity, right?
Correct.
So some kids will end up having 0 friends. Some will have a whole bunch of friends. You'll get this really weird sense of what the world is really like because so many people, they'll get out of that setting and they'll find their own community and they'll totally flourish.
Absolutely.
But you get started in this weird place where it's a weird ass ecosystem and you're ranked in your class. So now it's just this constant comparison. Oh, I'm 300th out of 500 students or some shit. You know what I mean? So you're ranked. It's just all this shit that makes you super, like, you just start comparing yourself. You're already kind of thinking in that way. And then kids are graduating. Some are going to college. If you're not going to college, oh shit, I'm a fucking loser. Or you know what I'm saying? Yep. There's all these narratives that are coming into place because they're telling you you're supposed to do this, this, and this. And if you don't fit this mold, then you're just like an outcast or whatever the case may be. And even if you do fit the mold, that may not be good. You know what I mean? It just puts you in this weird way of thinking.
Yep. And I'm a big believer that social media has a huge impact on that. For
and
a lot
that
of
makes
people.
it worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
exactly.
you're sitting there and like, I'd say 98 to 99% of what you see on social media is always the good. And then
it's the highlight reel.
Yeah, like everybody's like, oh, look at this, I bought this, or I'm doing this weekend. But deep down, I think most of those people are fucking miserable, man. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
I'm not gonna post on there that I just laid on the couch for 3 days, depressed, watching fucking Netflix.
Nobody talks about that.
I'm not gonna tell you I did that
Yeah.
on my fucking social media, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely happened. I've definitely done that.
And I think the people that actually are open and admit those things, they gain a lot of traction because then they start getting other people to like be inspired to tell their story, or also just reach out to you and be like, hey, dude, I fucking needed to read that today. Like, I really appreciate it. I'm going through the same thing. I've had that happen before too, with me, because I've been a lot more open and public with my life on social media, sharing my story basically. And I've had a very positive impact with it. You know what I mean? And I'm just getting started. You know what I mean? So I'm
just
excited.
being honest.
Yeah, be honest, man. Being honest with yourself, I think, is the very first step, and just admitting that, we all have our own problems, man.
100%.
So yeah, bro, it's cool.
Yeah, the idea that you're always supposed to be happy, I don't know where the hell that came from.
Yeah. But
our culture seems to be in a place where it's all about everybody needs to be safe, everybody needs to be happy, but when is that ever the case? When is everybody ever you have to be sad sometimes. It's just it's just a part of this human experience, right? So then we had that whole period of the mass, and it's still today, right? Just so many people are prescribed SSRIs, because they're not happy. Yeah. Some people for sure need that, but a lot of people just need to change their fucking life and do some shit, do some hard things, eat better, get some sleep, drink some water.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah.
Some lifestyle
Change
things.
your friends. You know what I mean? Change around the people you hang out with. I think that's a big influence on a lot of people.
Gain some community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree totally. 100%.
Yeah, man, we're not always supposed to be happy, dude. So, it's just a part of it. So now you're managing the largest dispensary.
Not the largest, the number one dispensary in the state of Illinois as far as like volume and customers and stuff like that. So
which one is it? Is it?
So I'm at the Ascend Wellness in Collinsville.
Ascend Wellness in Collinsville.
So currently I'm the operations manager there, and pretty much a day-to-day there, man. I just You know, I'm in charge of like literally every department, which is like that stuff's fucking
That
phenomenal,
smells
by the way.
delicious.
Yeah, it's called banana pudding.
Banana pudding.
So it's by Revolution.
Cookies and cream and banana punch number
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, dude. So they're actually the #1 cultivator in the state of Illinois. They've won every category in the Cannabis Cup with like flower from sativa, hybrid indicas,
Yeah.
edibles, you know, things like that. So they're legit, man.
Oh, this is so you know it's legit because it has the terpene content. See, for all the real people in the space, they want to know what the terpene profile is because don't tell me if it's sativa or indica because that doesn't mean shit.
It's funny you say that, man. So I'd say a vast majority of our customers, they just like high THC.
Yeah, they just
They're
want
like, where's the highest THC?
just,
What is
just,
it? I don't
just
care.
Get me fucked up, bro.
And I'm like, dude, I've smoked weed that's been like 34%, and then I've also smoked weed that's been 11%. I've been just as high, if not higher. You know what I mean? Riding around thinking everybody's a fucking cop and shit off this like low-grade weed, but it's like really high in terpene content.
Dude, cannabis is just such an interesting plant because I mean, as it's exposed to more oxygen, it will actually change its profile, right? Because the
Correct.
oxygen will increase the CBG, right?
Yep.
So it'll taste different. Like I've noticed, like this what we have right here. It's like kind of the end of what I have. So I feel like it's tasting a little bit harsher than whenever I first got it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just so interesting, this plant. You know, are we growing it or is it growing us?
Right.
It grows everywhere in the world, and
Yeah.
it's everywhere that humans are. It has done a really good job to make sure that it stays around.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something, Adam. I've been in this game for 3 years now in the industry, and everybody smokes weed, man. Cops, lawyers, doctors. Motherfuckers come in there with scrubs on. Like, they just don't care. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are past the point of, like, because when we first started, they're like, man, I just hope I don't run anybody from work from here, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, if you run into somebody from work from here, you guys are here for the same reason. You know what I mean? Now you know you smoke weed. You know,
Exactly.
so there's a connection there. So cannabis is I love it, man. I prior to getting into this industry, I was actually in corporate banking. I was a branch manager for U.S. Bank.
Okay.
And I fucking was miserable, bro.
Yeah.
Did it for 2 years. I was not a desk, suit and tie guy, like consolidating debts and booking loans and shit. Like, it just wasn't for me. And I was fucking miserable, dude. Like, stressed out, gaining weight, like, cortisol levels are all fucked. Like, everything was fucked up.
Yeah.
And I just, it just wasn't for me. And a buddy of mine at the time, he was working for a company, lost his job, and he was door dashing. And prior to it being Ascend Wellness, it was HCI, which was a medical facility in Collinsville at the same location that it's in now. It was called HCI Alternatives. And then he went in there one day because he was door dashing. I never went to Collinsville prior to like working there. You know, I'm from O'Fallon, Swansea area and stuff. So I just never really had any reason to go to Collinsville other than when I worked at the Club Fitness there back in like 2013. You know what I mean? So he went in there and he was just like, hey, how do I get a job here? And this was 6 months prior to the end of Prohibition, where January 1, 2020 was around the corner, and then recreational was legal in the state of Illinois. So timing was fucking everything, man. We got in there at the right time. He called me right after. He was like, hey, bro, I just went in there, talked to the manager. I got an interview next week. He's like, I think you should apply here too. I think they're looking for a bunch of people. So I did that, you know.
Nice.
And I went from I was actually making really good money at the bank, and then I went down to $13 an hour, and I got that first check, and I was like, fuck, I got to figure something out quick. You know what I mean? Just moved up really fast. So I'm glad I got in there at the time I did, because I learned everything. I learned the science behind it, all the background stuff, because in order to work at a medical facility, you got to do a bunch of testing and shit, man, before you can even talk to a customer or what would be considered at the time a patient. You know what I mean? So like, they're all in there for, you know, whatever the qualifying condition may be, whether it's PTSD was a big one, HIV, all kinds of shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know, arthritis.
Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of pain management.
Yeah, man. And lost my train of thought there, but
you were talking about, you started, you took the cut from working at the bank. You worked your way through the ranks.
Yeah, and then we got taken over by Ascend Wellness, who the CEO, his name is Abner. You know, they're out of Boston and stuff like that. Super fucking smart guy, man. Super intelligent. Went to Harvard and stuff. This guy's just fucking brilliant. And they came in, bought it out. They had all these new regional managers come in and stuff that they hired throughout the thing. And I just got really close with them. And they were like, hey, do you have a resume? And I was like, yeah, just gave my resume. And then I told them my background and stuff, and just kind of got a management position right off the bat from there.
Nice.
Same with my buddy. He's also a manager there too. That got me the job there pretty much, or inspired me to go there basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, a lot of growth. The industry's fucking crazy, man. Like it's so new and it's so evolving and it's so fast paced. So there's just so much change. You know what I mean? So my recommendation to anybody that wants to get in the industry, that should be the first thing you could be able to adapt to is change, because it's constant.
Yeah, ever evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
regulations are constantly changing.
It's so regulated through the state of Illinois too. And Illinois is probably one of the most corrupt fucking states when it comes to like cannabis and stuff, which is crazy to me, because all the money that my location alone brings into the state It's just nuts. You know what I mean? And they fucking pick on you. It's crazy, bro. Like it's crazy. They should be super lax, but it's completely opposite.
You're in a really interesting state because it's completely held hostage by one city.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago completely dictates and influences the politics of the state, but that state isn't really representative of or that city isn't really representative of the entire state.
Correct. That's what they think of though when they hear Illinois, but little do they know where we're at, you know, deep in the South. Like it's not Chicago. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, most probably a majority of Illinois is just kind of held hostage by one city.
Yeah. Kind of like this whole thing with like the COVID stuff too. It's like a lot of the stipulations and regulations stem from there because it's just so crazy up there, I guess. But
yeah, there's a lot more people.
Yeah.
You know, in a densely populated area.
Yeah.
So it just garners so much political power. And Chicago's never really been. Has Chicago ever really been known as a politically pure city?
No idea.
Like, let's just be real.
Yeah, no idea. It's funny, man. Prior to COVID, I never really got into politics and like
Me neither.
presidential stuff until now, man. I'm just all into. I'm invested. You know.
I didn't know
it's
if
interesting.
dude. Here's the thing. I've always been of the thought that if I just keep my head down and I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'm just kind of focused on just doing my thing and being successful and things will still kind of work out no matter what's happening in the political space because it always just kind of seemed more of the same no matter who was in.
Right.
But now we're in a space where I feel that I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't just ignore what's happening because it seems like if you do, you're going to fuck around and find yourself in a place to where you can't, there's no coming back from, you know, it feels like we're losing freedoms.
Absolutely, man.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and we're never going to get them back. So it doesn't feel like I can just keep my head down and just grind and ignore what's going on there because if I do, I'll wake up one day and like I don't know what the fuck is going on and I'll be in a really bad spot. It's like, no, you have to pay attention right now.
Yeah. And I'm almost to the point too, like I've paid so much attention and I've just heard the word COVID for the last 2.5 fucking years and I'm just like over it. I don't care anymore.
No, yeah, COVID isn't anything I'm scared of.
No, not at all. I've had it. I was sick for like 2 days. I never got like sick though. Like I never had like congestion or anything. I was just fucking fatigued. Man. I was just tired for like 2 days. But I also trained really hard, like running and jujitsu and stuff prior to that. So I don't know if it was like a shock to my system, but I tested positive. You know what I mean? So
well, it probably helps that you got really healthy.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm super big into like supplementation as far as like, you know, vitamins and stuff like that. Big First Form guy. Use all their products basically. I don't really use like protein powders or anything. It's pretty much their Opti Greens and like their multivitamin pack. And just my food.
Yeah,
you know?
I do their multivitamin pack. I think if when people are talking about supplements, if you're going to spend your money on something, I think that a really good multivitamin at the very minimum is going to go a very long way. Yep. If you're just trying to like what's going to get me the most, like what's the minimum effective dose, it's like, man, get you a really good multivitamin. And they have a great vitamin pack. Yeah,
and I'm a huge advocate for natural foods.
Oh, that tastes delicious.
Yeah, that's called cheetah piss, actually. It's from cookies.
Cheetah piss?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Drink that.
It's really good.
I'll drink the piss of a cheetah.
Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite strains. And we had a huge cookies drop. You know the brand cookies, like Burner and stuff.
Yep.
We were carrying all their stuff for a while, and we had like all their shit, but this was definitely probably my favorite strain out of them.
Nice.
For sure. But no, back to what we were saying though, dude, is I'm a huge believer in like nutrition from your food. You know, like I eat a lot of elk. I eat a lot of like grass-fed fucking red meats, stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of, I could tell the transition from when I was my previous diet to now, like I just have fucking insane energy, man. And I don't drink a lot of caffeine. I might drink a Red Bull or a cup of coffee a day, and that's pretty much my caffeine source. But my energy levels are all throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Man, I just had my boy here yesterday. His name's Stu Beef. And he's eating, I think, 4 ounces of raw liver a day.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Everybody's on this liver kick. You know who Liver King is?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this guy? This guy's fucking
first
nuts,
of all,
man.
Liver King's on all of the fucking juice.
Absolutely.
Dude, he's so roided the fuck out.
My boy tried to argue me that he wasn't. I was like, you're fucking nuts, dude.
That guy's, he's yoked out. But, yeah, he's insane. He's a monster. I don't know how I feel about, I'm real textural. I'm not really big in I don't know if I can do the raw.
I'd throw up, dude.
I'm kind of thinking about trying it out.
Yeah.
But no, he's eating the raw liver, but he orders everything from this place. Let me see here. I pulled it up yesterday. He orders it every week. He's getting raw milk. He gets his eggs from this place. He
Cool.
gets his beef. It's all grass fed, grass finished. It's called Fed from the Farm. It's this place. It's in Sedalia, Missouri.
Okay.
But yeah, you get eggs and raw milk and all this shit that he gets from them.
So I get all my meat actually off of it's a website, but it's a place. It's called Jackson Hole Meat Company. It's out of Wyoming.
Okay.
That's where I get all my bison and my elk and shit like that. It's
Nice.
a little pricey, but I mean it's the real shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, it's super fucking good, man. And yeah, I'm a big advocate for that. But I think that's the beauty of supplements too, though. If you're lacking in a certain area, take a supplement.
Do you do organ meats?
Not really.
Not at all.
No. So
Man.
going back to the liver thing too. So I have a really good friend. Her name is Tara. She lives out in California. She's like a fucking doctor in nutrition, and her diet, dude, is fucking insane. But so she's on this liver kick too. Like everybody's on this liver kick right now. I'm gonna get on it. I gotta try it.
Dude, organ meats are for sure where it's at.
Yeah.
I've been on organs for a while.
But what she'll do, bro, is she'll slice it up into little like pill like I don't know. They're like you could swallow them basically. She'll cut them up, puts them in her ice tray,
Mhm.
and then freezes them, and then just takes one every morning and just
Okay.
swallows it. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna try that because I can't do that shit, man.
I
That's
would-
not for me.
For a while, I was just doing like an organ supplement. I was getting from this company called Ancestral Eats, and they were just. I mean, you could get straight liver, or they had like beef organs, which was like liver, heart, spleen. And they just, I think they have like a marrow. They had just all these different. So you could supplement, and it's just a pill. You just swallow it.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. Dude, it's funny because we were just talking about this yesterday. But growing up, dude, I remember as a kid, liver and onions was a meal that people actually like kind of talked about and had, and you don't ever hear about that anymore.
Fuck
Like it's
no.
not a thing.
Everybody DoorDashes, man.
Hmm.
Nobody cooks anymore.
Yeah, dude, liver's the most nutrient dense part of an animal.
I gotta
bro.
try it, man. I told my boy I was gonna give it like a 30-day thing. I've been on this. You ever heard of, you know what kraut is? Like sauerkraut, kraut and shit.
Mhm.
So you can get like I get like bags of it. The girl that I was talking about, Tara, the nutritionist out in California, she turned me on to this too. It's like just a bunch of live probiotics stuff like that.
Yep.
Just do a spoonful every morning.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
fucking nasty. I hate it.
You don't like sauerkraut?
Oh, man, I don't like the texture of it. It's weird.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could tell the difference. I'm on like day 14, but
I fuck
Yeah.
with sauerkraut, bro. I put
oh man, I can't do it. Dude.
I put
can't.
mustard on it,
Yeah.
and I'll just eat it with some sausage.
No way.
Pff, my shit,
Mhm.
dude. I try to do different fermented things. Kimchi, I'll try that. It's not really my jam.
Me neither.
I don't
I'm a
really
jasmine
like
rice
it.
guy, dude.
Yeah,
That's my carb source and shit.
Yeah.
Or potatoes.
I love potatoes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm huge into gut health too, man. I think that is a big proponent in like your daily life function as far as like your brain, the way
Yeah.
you think, and things like that. And
Yeah.
works for me. You know what I mean?
Well, there's the gut-brain axis.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, like up to 90% of your serotonin is actually produced in your gut. So,
Yeah.
that whole happiness hormone is in your gut.
Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
And a lot of those too, and like that's where it comes. Like that's a big study with cannabis too, is like your CB1, CB2 receptors and stuff like that in your brain. So like your CB2 receptor in your brain actually controls all that, like your gut, your immune system and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and then the CB1 is like more like your motor thinking, like your thinking and things like that. So that's what triggers a lot of like different. That's why a lot of cannabis, like different strains and stuff, have those psychoactives and the different terpene contents and stuff. They like radiate those little CB1 receptors and shit. And everybody reacts differently to cannabis too. So like what works for me might not work for you from a medical standpoint. You know what I mean? But the most common thing is like a lot of people that have like PTSD and paranoia. Obviously stay away from like sativas.
Really?
Things that are racy, keep you up and stuff, and it kind of triggers that anxiety and shit. So, but yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, the more we're learning, the more we're able to actually study
Yeah.
and actually get good information. It's so fascinating, right? Because the endocannabinoid system is one of the the first like human systems that we have.
Right.
Right. So we've evolved with this thing. Like there's a reason why this is so helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's essentially it's essentially we're supposed to do this thing. It's not for
smoke cannabis.
yeah,
Smoke cannabis?
or maybe consume it in some form or fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a part of civilization for so long,
Yeah.
right? Like that. I mean, why else would we have that system
Mhm.
from it's one of our first systems that we have.
Yeah. I love it now though because it's way less like frowned upon if you smoke weed. Like back in high
Yeah.
school and shit, I was a stoner. You know, I started smoking. First time I smoked was, I think I was 15 or 16. I think I was 15. And you know, I was out of a Mountain Dew can. My mom was out of town, and me and my buddy came over and he had some weed.
Yeah.
Went from there, man. Hooked ever since. Love it.
You were 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was 14 or 15 when I started smoking too.
Yeah. Didn't smoke like religiously after that. It would be like, you know, a Friday night thing with the boys or something right around.
Oh, you're better than me. I smoked before school and shit.
Yeah, see, I was never like that. I'm still like that to this day. Like I'm good on this. I don't know if
Okay,
you want
that's fine. I'll just put it out.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I'm pretty high.
I'm a very functional smoker, but I'm at the point now, bro, where like I only really smoke at the end of the day. I might smoke before jiu-jitsu or something. I love to smope. Like
Damn,
take a
so
pinch hit.
we took you out your zone just now then.
No, I mean that's the thing too, though, dude. What's funny about it is like now, like where I kind of just smoke at the end of the day, kind of a thing. But like I can hang with them, man. I could just smoke all day.
Mm-hmm.
Still can do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, I choose not to. So
No, I get
it's
it.
like a rewarding thing for me now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually do a little bit in the morning, and then at the end of the day, there was a period where I was just smoking all day. I'm like, man, I gotta chill.
For sure. And I'm so busy now, dude. And like
That makes it easier.
time is definitely not on my side when it comes to just chilling and smoking
Exactly.
anymore. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
and I'm cool with that. Like totally cool with that. So,
Yeah, dude, you just get going, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's not even a thing.
No.
You're just busy.
But I could smoke like and go to a family event, go to work, you know, things like that. I could totally do it, but it's just a personal thing. I just choose not to. I used to do it all the time. Smoke before school, work, lunch breaks, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I stopped smoking before school because it was whenever it was my sophomore year. I was super excited, and I was like, yeah, this is fun, this is cool, and I'd get super high, and I was going to I had science. We did 4 classes a day. I had science the first class. That was just fine. I was good at science, and then I had PE the next class, and then after PE, I'd be so fucking tired, and then I'd go straight to Spanish class, and I'd go to sleep. For whatever reason, foreign language just never really like clicks in my brain, and I just gave up. I didn't give a shit. It was Spanish too. I'm like, fuck this. So I just slept every day, and I failed that class. And then I got kicked out. He's like, I don't think you should be back in here the next semester.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I'm the same with that, like foreign language, but it's so fascinating to me. I love when people speak like Spanish, especially like in jiu-jitsu. Portuguese is huge. Like,
So
I love
at
that
this
shit.
point in my life, I was just thinking about this the other day. I'm going to really dedicate myself to, I've always wanted to learn Spanish. I'm just going to do it. Yeah. I really just need to just put myself in uncomfortable positions and just practice it.
Yeah.
Like it can be as simple as just doing my best to whenever I go order some food to make sure that I do it in Spanish or something.
Where would you learn? How would you learn it? Like Rosetta Stone, or would you hire somebody?
You know, I actually have Rosetta Stone, and it was dude, I was super dedicated on it for like 3 months.
Okay.
And then it was cool because I actually went on a trip, and I could kind of people were speaking in Spanish, and I could kind of understand what the fuck they're saying. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I just stopped doing it. So man, what I think I need to do is maybe something I can get back on that, or maybe like bilingual or something. But then also, like I said, like find somebody that would be willing to practice with me. Like maybe join one of these groups or something that I can actually speak to somebody on a regular basis and actually have these conversations. And actually, here's the thing. One of my best friends, I know he can speak a little Spanish. His wife, she speaks fluent Spanish, so I could just practice with her. So I know, I feel like I know enough people who speak some Spanish that they would kind of practice with me or something.
Yeah, for sure. I was told, so when I worked at the bank, I actually worked in a very like diverse industry where there was a lot of Mexicans. You know what I mean? So everybody that came in there spoke Spanish and shit.
Yes.
And a lot of the girls that worked there were Mexican, so they all spoke Spanish. And they were like, one of the best ways to learn is like just turn your TV on Spanish mode with subtitles.
Yeah.
Just watch it. As crazy as that sounds. So I'm like, okay, tried it. I mean, it's just like you said, it's an attention thing. Like, so after a certain amount of time, I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. You're not paying attention. You're on your phone or whatever, staring out in space.
It goes so fast. I need it to slow down. I'm like, I'm just dumb. I need you to slow the fuck. But yeah, I think, they say the best way is just to immerse yourself.
Yeah, and that's what's fascinating about foreign languages is like people look at us and like, how the fuck do they talk like that? And I look at them like, I have no idea what you're saying. It's crazy. Yeah. It's so cool.
English is the worst first language.
I hear it's the hardest to learn.
And yeah, it's the most complicated language.
Which is wild.
It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's so hard to learn. And it doesn't really apply. If you learn Spanish or Portuguese or French or Italian or one of these other like romance languages, that you learn a foundation and then it applies to all. It makes it easier to learn the other ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, fuck, dude, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But either way, so failed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, man, maybe I shouldn't get high before school.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that. But yeah, man, it was wild times. Young man, excited. I used to think that cannabis was for everybody, and I realized now that while I do think it can help most people,
Mm-hmm.
there are some people that you should be cautious with it.
Absolutely.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I agree. My girlfriend's one of them, man. She's tried edibles, smoking, just doesn't like it.
Yeah,
Literally, just I know people like that. Like
for sure.
people don't like it. And
Some
that's
people
fine.
don't like
As
it.
long as they accept it, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. With my fiance, with her, it's actually helped her stop drinking. Really, she
Oh, for
barely.
sure.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I fucking dude, I don't. I stopped drinking almost. It'll be 2 years in July.
Completely, like done.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I had a drink for New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
She ordered some wine with dinner,
Mhm.
and I drank some of that with her.
Wine every now and then is pretty good, man.
That's the only
Yeah.
time I drank,
Oh, really?
and
Yeah.
all this time.
Did you feel buzzed off it? Like, did you feel
No,
it?
I didn't. I
No.
didn't feel
Yeah.
anything. I just drank it just for the taste because we went to Florida just on a whim. We just went there, and we were just eating some seafood. She had some white wine.
Mhm.
I just ate it just for the flavor with the food.
Dude, red wine and
Or
like
drink
steak
it.
and shit's good, man.
Yeah,
That's a good combo.
dude,
Yeah.
you can pair a good wine
Yeah.
with your meal for sure.
It's good for you too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's some benefits there, absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man. I just feel better when I don't drink. Even if I don't drink a lot,
Mhm.
the next day I typically my joints feel a little bit more swollen. I can tell I have a little bit more inflammation,
Absolutely.
and I'm just like, man, is it worth it? So I always just smoke.
I just couldn't imagine being that guy that drinks every day. And I know people like that like people I work with and shit. I'm just like, you could just smell it on them every day. I'm like, how do you fucking function, man? Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't personally because I feel the same way. I definitely don't drink as much as I used to, but I'm good for a few beers on the weekend and stuff
Yeah.
here and there, like maybe twice a month. But
Yeah, dude, I love the taste of beer.
yeah, I'm a big beer guy. Yeah, I don't know. I hard liquor and stuff. I'm definitely one of those guys that when you drink hard liquor, it definitely like changes my personality.
Oh, does
you know what I
it?
mean? And
Turn into an
I'm not
asshole.
myself. You know what I mean? Nah, an asshole, or I just get really triggered really easily, and yeah, I just stay away from it, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, and I'm going to Mexico in like 4 weeks, so it's like
Oh.
I gotta stay away from the tequila. You know what
Really?
I mean?
Dude, I
Yeah.
love margs, bro.
No, for sure. Me too. I love a good marg, but also too, where I'm at the point in my life, I'm different mindset, different mentality and stuff, so I have a lot more control over myself. If that makes sense. You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
got to
So,
know who you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Mexico would be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. Never been.
Where you going?
Cabo, I think.
Cabo?
It was a Christmas gift, man. It's like an all-inclusive trip
rad.
for my dad and stuff. So yeah, super excited.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, for sure.
You
Just, I think now I just got an email 2 days ago from I think we're flying Delta, and you have to have a fucking positive test, whether you're vaccinated or not, before you can depart out to Mexico, and
Oh,
then before
really?
you leave. So I'm like, okay, what if I test positive when I'm in fucking Mexico and I got to come back and shit? You got to, I mean, wouldn't be a bad place to quarantine for 5 days, but at the same time, it's like at that point I'll be ready to come home and shit, and that would just suck.
Yeah.
So
Get stuck in Mexico.
probably just jinx myself too, man. So we'll
No,
see.
that would be good.
Yeah,
Just gotta
for
think
sure.
positive, homie.
No, for sure. Just not test positive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing.
Yes. Don't test positive.
Yeah, for sure.
Dang, dude, you gonna do anything fun while you're down there? Like, you gonna go like parasailing or
I think so.
scuba
Yeah, I
diving
think we're gonna do all
or
that.
any snorkeling or anything
Yeah.
like that?
Never been, man. I've left the country and shit before. I've never been to Mexico.
Neither have I.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nice.
But it's like a big ass fuck. I like the pictures that you get from like once you make the purchase from where you're going and stuff. Like they send you a bunch of links and pictures of like the resort. It's insane, man. It's
Yeah.
insane.
It's so fun to see the world, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so awesome.
I've been big into traveling the last 2 years, man. It's something
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should do. I work with people, man. They're just like, man, I've never left this town and shit. They're 30. I'm just like, God, I'd never want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Or that girl or whatever. So
Yeah, I didn't grow up really traveling much
Same.
or going places.
yeah.
So I always make a I do it a whole lot more now, and
Mhm.
I definitely make a point with my kids to make sure that we do shit.
That's important.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm so Deja. That's my fiance. She calls me Clark, like Clark Griswold off of
Yeah.
the
Hell
very
yeah.
because
Love that.
we'll straight up road trip, bro. So this past summer we road tripped to the Grand Canyon.
Sick.
Yeah, man, it was really fucking cool, man. It
Mhm.
was like 2 or 3 days driving there, a few days at the Grand Canyon. We did some kayaking.
Yeah.
We kayaked at the Colorado River, so like in like
Sick.
Horseshoe Bend. So it was
Yeah.
really fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'm totally Chuck Griswold, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You like to drive? You like the driving
It's,
aspect?
it's a lot. Well, man, yes and no.
Depends who you're with, I guess.
Yeah, it's cheaper. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely cheaper than flying with everybody. But yeah, I mean, I like to drive. I think probably because I'm a bit of a control freak, right? So I have control and I just drive.
Yeah, no.
I like to drive. I do all the
I'm
driving.
the same way. I got a buddy like that too. He just drives all over. I'm just like, all right, cool. And
I don't
I
mind
trust him. I don't trust. I don't. I'm weird in cars with a lot of people. Like my girl, man. Like just drives like a fucking maniac. And I'm like, yeah, no way. I gotta be driving.
Yes.
Gotta be driving. Gotta be in control.
Ooh, it's so scary.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm like, how are you alive?
Yeah. And I just think about that. And I'm like, man, you drive to St. Louis every day for work? Drives me, fucking scares me. But whatever. So,
Yeah, but dude, the Grand Canyon was insane. I took him to Florida. We drove to Florida one time.
Mhm.
I just think it's so important to just see the things and kind of just
Yeah.
expand your like just your horizon, like
Mhm.
what you think about.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And I think road tripping too, especially like you being a dad and bringing your family along stuff too. I think that's an important bond. That's a good time to spend with your kids.
it's fun stuff, man.
It could be a bad thing too, depending on how young they are.
So they're 13 and 11
cool.
now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a fun age.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's interesting having a teenager because my
bet.
son is a bit of an asshole sometimes. I love him though.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He's just turning into a young lad, right,
Mhm.
young man, and
Mhm.
he just kind of become kind of just pulling away.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he wants to try to prove me wrong. Often, I'll say something and he'll try to, nope, that's not right. I'm like, AJ, yes it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember growing up, my dad's always like, he's like, dude, I've been 15 before. I know what I'm talking about. And I'd be like, no, you don't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, same thing.
It's
I get that.
it's so interesting. Perspective is a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a cool thing about growing and growing up and aging and stuff like that. You definitely get wiser with age, man. I've learned so much just in the last 2 years from the pivot that I've made in my life. It's crazy, man. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting.
Do you ever think
Depends.
about like what you would tell your younger self if you had like any say, oh man, what would be like your advice for your younger self?
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Be honest. Yeah. Don't. That would definitely be it. Because that was one thing I was not for a long time. Just not honest with myself.
It's a hard thing to do, bro.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to admit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's the first step.
It's easy
sure.
to live in denial.
Yeah, absolutely.
What helped you turn that corner?
I would just say the last I always say 24 months because I've made the change, but I've been in this mindset for the last 5 years. Just dude, learning from people like Joe Rogan and Cameron Haynes and David Goggins. I've been following all these guys for a long fucking time.
Okay.
And all these guests that they have on, you just learn things from them. And I've learned things from them that I could take away anything that I've ever learned in school. You know what I mean? That's what they don't teach you in school is they don't teach you life. You know what I mean? They teach you this shit that's by a book, and it's been by a book since 1970. And it's just this structure, and this is how it is, and it's not, man. You know what I mean? It's not. Maybe for you, maybe for that guy, but not for me personally. It's crazy.
Yeah, formal education isn't the only education.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, being able to teach yourself
Mm-hmm.
is important.
Mm-hmm.
You should always be learning.
Yeah.
And most of your life, you're not in the setting of formal education, right? So
Correct.
listening to podcasts, reading
Yeah.
books,
Yeah.
audiobooks.
Yeah.
There's all these different things that you can tap into
Mm-hmm.
and learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit. The amount of information, actual good information that you can find on
Mhm.
YouTube or even Instagram, people are putting out good videos and
Yeah.
there's just so much
Yeah.
information out there. And then there's these different databases that if you do want to take extra steps, you can go out and look,
Yep.
and there's no reason to not learn if you really want to.
Yeah. And it's a big thing about social media too. It's who you're following on there. Go look at someone's profile. Go click on my page and see who I follow. You know what I mean? I try to just follow real motherfuckers, man. People that spit out good advice on their social media, not scrolling through TikTok and watching fucking dudes skateboard down a hill and fall and stuff. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that stuff's cool. But
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Watching skateboarding videos is one of my fucking favorite.
I'm a huge skateboard fan.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love it so much.
Yeah, I grew up on Ryan Sheckler and all those guys back in the day, young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Tony Hawk, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Wipeout videos, but man, I watch these guys.
Yeah,
I
dude.
fucking love I'm like, damn, they're such amazing athletes. And you know what probably tapped me into it? I was visiting LA for a seminar for maces, those like a mace for
Oh, sick.
a fitness
Oh,
seminar,
right on. Cool.
and in the seminar was a guy named Neen Williams,
Hmm.
and he's a professional skateboarder,
Cool.
and he was just the nicest fucking dude.
Yeah.
And I fucking looked him up on Instagram, and I started following him, and then I just started looking at all of his friends who are all professional fucking all these guys make their living
Mm-hmm.
with skateboarding.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
yeah, like I was a huge skateboard fan like as a kid. Like I played Tony Hawk Pro, and so that really
Sure.
got me into like looking at skateboarding and watching it. Dude, the X Games were the shit. I
Yeah.
love watching the X Games.
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
Always.
it was how cool was that?
Mm-hmm.
It
Insane.
was such a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, fucking BMX, like all this shit.
Yeah.
I love it all. And
Yep.
so, but I just kind of, I didn't follow it after a period of time. Right, I just kind of just faded away from me.
Yeah.
So whenever I met him, I'm like, shit, man. People still make livings off of this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I think has like 500,000 followers.
Oh, fuck,
Neen
dude. I
does.
guarantee you probably so many sponsors. And
Oh, dude, yeah,
endorsements.
that's
Yeah.
what he does,
Yeah, that's
right?
awesome.
It just opened up my mind to it again.
Mhm.
So now I follow some people on there. I'm like, man, you guys are so fucking amazing
Yeah, dude.
at this sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they've mastered it, and that's what's cool about also like with social media is how big and broad you can make a platform. Just like with jiu-jitsu, dude. Like look how many like people are making fucking money off that shit now. 10 years ago they weren't
Right.
as they were, but it wasn't as much. You know what I mean? Now
Mhm.
there's like they have that WNO and they have like all these different events now and stuff, and people are making money, man. It's fucking sweet. It's inspiring.
Yeah, social media has changed the world.
Yeah, and I think it's only gonna get bigger. Now the big things like these NFTs and shit. Have you like heard of these things like these virtual fucking
Yeah.
whatever it is?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's essentially
weird times, man.
a stamp of ownership
Something like
in the
that,
digital
yeah.
space. Essentially, I
Yeah.
know right now it's really associated with artwork
Mhm.
and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, but dude, I think that's a bubble.
I don't know,
It's
man.
gonna pop.
Like the same. I don't know. How do you feel about like the crypto and stuff, like all that stuff?
Crypto, man, I don't really know a lot about it.
Same.
If I knew more, people are making money on it.
Yeah,
you
but it's
know?
like COVID. That's all I hear about. It's like COVID, Bitcoin, and like fucking the same thing. The same three things, dude.
NFTs, crypto, Bitcoin. Yeah, fuck, man. I don't really know a lot about it.
Same.
I'm sure there's money to be made there. It's all interesting, man. It seems like we're moving towards the metaverse.
Yeah.
Are you familiar? Have you looked into that or heard
Not
much
much,
about it,
no.
dude? Have you had any experience with like a VR headset?
No, I hear nothing but crazy things about them. Though.
Yeah, dude, they're crazy.
I
It's
hear.
it's such an interesting experience.
Interesting.
And once we get to a place where you can make it so indistinguishable, because I think have you seen the movie Ready Player One?
No.
No. Okay, so they have basically in that the premise of that game is like is everybody kind of plugs into this virtual world and essentially just operates there. And it's just so crazy real. So there's these things that you can get. You can get like this bodysuit, and they have these gloves, and you have this headset, and then you're kind of like harnessed in. And there's this omnidirectional treadmill, so you can kind of have this total interactive experience. If they can create that kind of experience, I can see how people will fucking plug into that and
Hell yeah.
just live in this
Absolutely.
this virtual space. In which case, it makes sense to own NFTs and to invest in virtual real estate.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be this whole
Yeah.
virtual space.
Crazy.
It's fucking.
Yeah, I haven't looked much into it.
I like
just
living
keep
in the
it
real world.
Same, dude. Yeah, I try to keep it real. You know what I mean? Like just keep it here, man. I don't know much about that shit, but it's all people talk about. It's crazy.
It's wild
So,
shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
Well, as the younger generations grow up with this technology, they're going to
Yeah,
be more
dude.
accepting of the technology, and it's going to kind of create a shift. I don't want to be that old person who just misses the world as it shifts.
We're definitely watching it pass by too. Like, dude, I'll drive to work, man, or I'll drive home, and I just see all these fucking kids walking down the street to the bus stop or at the bus stop, and they're just like this. Their just heads are down in their phone, man. Like, I'm just like, I look at it from 2 points. Like, A, you're missing out on so much life, and then B, like, the self-aware aspect in me too. Like, I don't walk around the streets with my fucking head down on my phone. I'm always like looking around and
Yeah.
checking my area and shit like that. So
Gotta keep your head on swivel, bro.
yeah, dude. I mean, that's how kids get abducted and shit too, man. Like, you just fucking walk. These kids literally are just glued, man. They're just like this. Like, nothing's distracting them. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
scary. Like,
It is scary.
it's fucked up.
I had a thought the other day. I was driving, and it's really scary to think about the amounts of teenagers that are driving right now. there are teenagers on the road.
Yeah.
Teenage
Weird to think
girls
about.
are driving.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the worst drivers on the road, by the way.
I agree.
That is
They're on their phones.
scary
Yeah.
as shit. And you know why? Because I glanced the fuck over and I saw one. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That
Scary.
scares the shit out of me.
I know.
It's just a fact of life.
Yeah. That was also one point too.
Exactly,
though.
it was. It's just, it's a reality, but
Mhm.
it's just one that I realized scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, but that's like with anything too in life. Like I think a lot of it stems from parenting too. Like, how you raise your kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like when I have children, like I will definitely make it apparent to that not walk down the fucking street with your head in your phone.
Yeah.
Situational awareness. I'm really big on that. I think it's a
Yeah.
huge important thing. So, yeah, it's weird times, man. But also too, like growing up, like I never had iPads and shit like that. We had like video games, like PlayStations and whatever. But we were always outside riding bikes, dude, getting dirty till the dark, till the sun came or till the sun went down and stuff. But just different times, man. I definitely didn't grow up playing a lot of electronics, and I think that's a big reason why I don't play a lot now. I'm not a big video game guy. Used to be, but
Yeah.
it was a short phase.
I played video games as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore. I don't have time.
Literally, that's the thing too. Like I'm trying to do things that keep me productive in a positive way, and like what's going to help me grow in the next 5-10 years down the road and stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. See what happens. But I definitely want to continue this cannabis game, though, man. This game is fucking. There's a lot of money to be made, and it's just a fun fucking industry, man. Like I'm trying to incorporate something to where like I can start my own business, whether with it being incorporated with like cannabis, martial arts, like jiu-jitsu tournaments, stuff like that. Like I'd love to like create my own brand. It's just hard. There's so many of them now, there's so much competition, but it's just like once I find that niche, I'm going to run with it.
There's a lot of them in other than high rollers, like cannabis
Yeah.
and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
What else?
that's true. Nothing. Not that I can think of.
Just them, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And they just started doing the smoker series, which is
I'd love to do one of those.
the striking.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Yeah.
Smoke and roll.
Oh,
Do that.
yeah, no, yeah, that would be
bad.
dope. That's the that's the jiu-jitsu piece, but then they added, they're friends with oh my God, it's gonna bother me. I can't
Jeff
think.
Glover.
No.
Joe Schilling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joe Schilling.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he's such a fucking
He's a
awesome
bad
human-
motherfucker,
Yes,
dude.
he is.
Scary
dude.
guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He will fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
So they started doing a smoker series
Mhm.
that they're calling it, and it's just a little kickboxing tournament.
Dope.
Yeah, and so they had one. I can't remember, maybe at the end of last year, maybe October, I want to say, in
Mhm.
Vegas, and they're having like much smaller events.
Mhm.
So they did that. They had the high roller jiu-jitsu, and then they had the smoker series, and Joe Schilling was there for that.
Sick.
And I think they're doing more of those. But other than that, man,
I know.
there's nothing.
I know. We need to start something in the Midwest.
For
Get
sure.
something out here that'd be fucking sick. It would blow up. So many fucking. Obviously, I would never say names, but like, there's so many guys that train jiu-jitsu that I follow that come to my store and shit. Like, everybody smokes.
It's just
weed,
a part
man.
of the culture.
Yeah, people love it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, now we're in a place where, again, we're learning it. We're learning about it. We're getting
Mhm.
good information. We're able to now. The stigma is definitely not near where it was.
No, fuck no.
We're getting good information out. There's so much bad information that was
Mhm.
just straight up lies and disinformation that was put out over the years.
Yes.
Finally, we're in a place to where a lot of that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's just it's a slow process, but we're in a
Definitely.
really good place.
Yeah, it's definitely the trajectory is definitely moving upward pretty quickly nowadays. I would say once it goes federally legal, man, it's gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
I
But
think so, yeah.
when it does, is it going to be a situation where it doesn't happen until all the corporate interests are in place first,
I know.
and then it turns, and then now is it going to start crushing smaller businesses? You know what I'm saying? Is Walgreens going to have some sort of contract in place to
Mhm.
where now you got to go to Walgreens and CVS's, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen with that? Starbucks is going to swing in. For sure, dude. They already have shit. The U.S. government already has a patent
Yeah.
on cannabis.
Yeah, I think that's where like the big stigma and everything's going to come from, like with this big pharma trying to get incorporated with it and stuff. And I think that's where like the corporate side of it's going to fucking really tank the industries, because you're gonna hire people. Basically, I'm gonna hire Joe Schmo. Never fucking smoked a day in his life, but this guy's got an insane amount of fucking money. He's gonna invest in this company. That it's a great thing to help it grow and prosper and all that stuff. But it's like these people aren't passionate about it. You know what I mean? This is an
Right.
industry where you need to be fucking passionate
They're
about it.
pushing out the culture.
Exactly. And that's what I don't like about it. And that's why I would love to like open my own dispensary and stuff like that. But it's just so fucking hard at them, especially in Illinois. Like I have everything I want to fuck. I got the name of the building, like all that stuff. It's just, it's so fucking corrupt, man. Like you can't, you have to know the right people, man. And I don't. So, I'm just fucking riding the wave for now. But the thing is though, is like with this industry, man, you have to have passion for it. That's like being a jiu-jitsu coach and not training jiu-jitsu. Like, that makes no fucking sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
What are you here for? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Money, business, growth, all that stuff's cool, man. But like, this is definitely an industry where I think if you're not hip to it, man, it's just gonna be really hard for you.
Right.
If you're just focused on money, I think the rest will follow. If you focus on the right things first. So,
Right.
But
yeah, man, you gotta have a true passion for it.
Yeah, for
you
sure,
wanna help
man.
people. You wanna actually. You gotta be experienced. How could you really advise somebody on something that you have no personal experience with?
How could I come in as a medical patient and have all these issues and qualifying conditions and stuff like that, and then I come to a counter with you that's just you're just here. You know what I mean? You just work here because you own it or daddy owns it or whatever, and you've never smoked and you can't speak to it. Like
It's just a job.
it's a bad business move too. Like I wouldn't come back to you. Like I'd never
Right.
come back to that store. Like fuck these guys. I'm gonna talk
Right.
about this about money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't imagine that's the majority though. I
No.
would, yeah.
No.
You probably most people probably get pushed out.
Yeah, for sure. But money's a big factor into it too, though. Like
Absolutely.
with the compliance in the state, like you might fuck something up. They're like, "Yeah, here's a check, man." Nobody
Yeah.
knows nothing, So
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, you know what? You're right. There are probably a lot of people who just got in
oh yeah, I see
just
it.
because it's
I
like,
see
hey
it.
man, I
live
see
it, man.
I see the
Yeah,
money.
I see it.
Let's
see it
do
daily.
it. I don't give a shit about weed. I just see money.
Literally.
Yeah.
You get all these, all these guys that come in and they're investors and shit and stuff
Yeah.
like that, which is cool. Like I said, you want that to like help grow and prosper your business and the building and stuff like that, but also you need people that are working the front line there, like that fucking love that shit. Which is awesome about my stores. Like everybody's passionate about it, man. Like from my bud tenders to the managers and stuff like that. Like we all smoke, man. We've all been smoking. Like it's you need that. You need that. Like it's not fucking Snooks or Walmart or something where they're just there for a job and they're scanning you out for your TV and your fucking groceries and stuff like that. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
But when you're scanning eighths and joints and edibles, it's fun. It's cool. Like it's, I love talking about it. I love ringing people out. I don't have to ring anybody out. I love working at cash register just because I love talking about it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's like your favorite part, just
Yeah,
connecting
dude.
with the patients,
Yeah.
the customers.
Yeah, I get a fucking paycheck deposit in my account and I talk about weed all day. I sell weed. But now I don't really focus on that. It's more about like developing the staff and coaching and training and, making sure every department's running and the ship's sailing straight so we can continue to grow.
Yeah.
When I first started with the Sin, we only had a couple dispensaries and, our footprint's grown pretty significantly across like the U.S. and stuff. We're really big on the East Coast now. We're just taking over New York, Ohio, things like that, New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
We're big in Illinois. We have one here and the one I work at in Collinsville and then down the street in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We have 2 in Springfield, bunch in Chicago and stuff. So like we're growing, man.
Oh, that's dope.
And it's a good thing. Like that's a company I want to work for. I want growth. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I don't want to be stagnant and just, doing the same mundane thing every fucking day. So
Yeah.
man.
That's not rewarding.
No, it's not. And a person like me, like I gotta have that switch. I gotta have that change. And that's what's cool about the industry too. Like every day's different, but it's also the same as far as like the repetitiveness. But like it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. So it's
Yeah.
cool. I love it, man. I love it.
Hmm.
But
Have you seen the movie Waiting?
I've not. No.
It's
I'm
a-
a big movie guy, bro. I like a
Oh.
lot of older movies and stuff.
This is it's from like 2005. It's pretty old. It has Ryan Reynolds in it, and
I feel like I've heard of it.
I wish
Big
I,
Ryan Reynolds fan.
who else? What's the other guy's name? It's gonna fucking bother me if I can't remember this guy's name. 1 second.
No, you're good.
Fucking. Yeah, Waiting movie.
If I've seen the cover, I've probably seen it.
Let me see the image.
I love some Ryan Reynolds though.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Can't say that I have.
it's super fucking old.
I'll definitely. Is it on Netflix or anything? You think?
Let me see how you can watch it.
I'll peep it out.
I think I just watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm just not a big TV guy anymore, man. I used to fucking watch TV all the time. If I do watch TV, it's like the same fucking shit.
Watch. I think maybe it is on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Waiting. I'll have to check that
I
out.
think so.
Right on.
Either way, I watched it whenever I was a kid. So it's so interesting. You
Yeah.
remind me of my best friend growing up.
Right on.
Because dude, he worked at a bank, and he was going to. They offered him like a regional manager position,
Mm-hmm.
and then he quit, and he essentially kind of went on this whole journey, and now he's in this space where like he has, I think he has a hemp farm.
Oh, sick.
He's like really, and
Sick.
he's like a cannabis writer. He's really deep in
Mhm.
the cannabis space, him and his
Mhm.
wife. And when we were younger, though, he worked in a restaurant.
Mhm.
So we watched this, and it was just a funny movie because it's just about a restaurant staff and
Yeah.
a day in the restaurant,
Yeah.
and it just has all the different archetypes that's in that workspace,
Mhm.
and it's just fucking hilarious. At least it's kind of dumb kid humor,
Yeah.
but it's pretty funny if you've
That's
ever
sick.
worked in a restaurant
Never, man.
or in the food space. But either way, I was just thinking, I was like, it'd be funny if somebody made a movie about that, but like in a dispensary,
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Just like a goofy comedy, because then you get all the different personalities and the archetypes, because you kind of get these different characters,
Yeah.
you
fuck
know,
yeah.
in these places, and it kind of repeats itself at different places, just kind of maybe a little different forms, but
Yeah. No, dude, we could definitely make a fucking TV series out of where I work.
How funny would that be?
And it's funny too, because I work in an old it's like an old Allstate building, man, and I have a fucking 110 employees that work there.
Oh
In a
shit,
small fucking confined building and stuff, man. It's just crazy.
that's a lot of
So there's a
people.
lot of different personalities, and the industry attracts. I mean, bro, I could literally fucking everything in anything, any type of person, any type of personality,
Oh, wow.
race, whatever. And it's cool. I like it. I think it's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
It's a melting pot.
It's different. Yeah. And, I've definitely met a lot of interesting and awesome fucking people in the 3 years that I've worked there. You know what I mean? Because, it's retail. You go through turnover and stuff like that. And then that's the thing, too, where we kind of fucked up in the beginning because we were so short-staffed. And every day for about 12 months, we just had a fucking line of people out the door, like just all day, every day. Hundreds of people to our, 30 staff members and stuff. So we really had to beef it up, and we just did like these big hiring events. And you kind of shoot yourself in the foot when you do events like that, because you just like fucking hire anybody that shows up at the fucking all-inclusive meeting or whatever, or interview and stuff. So, we've weeded a lot of those out and stuff, but we have a really strong talent within those four walls, man. It's pretty fucking cool to see. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting, man. It's, I don't know. Have you ever been there?
No, I've never
Hey,
been.
come check it out, man.
I need
It's
to.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. It's
I'll hook you up.
it's essentially you're taking a massive gamble when you do something like that,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
right?
For
And
sure.
You're like, all right, let's hope it works out.
Yeah.
Woo!
And it's
It's a learning lesson, though.
yeah, no, and it's cool too, because like I said, you get to really learn a lot about different types of people and how they, how they grew up, their lifestyle. And like I said, hiring them's easy, managing them's fucking hard.
That's the
Because
challenge.
their problems are your problems, man. I live by that, and I think that's
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah.
And they definitely bring their problems to you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you gotta do what you can to soothe them, man, and steer them in the right direction and help them as much as possible. But some people have some pretty fucked up shit going on in their life, and they're
Yeah.
unstable to work. That's for sure.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Do you do audiobooks?
I don't, man. I just read.
Just
Yeah,
regular books?
I just read.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never gotten into the audio, so I just podcast. When I'm riding in my car and
Podcast?
stuff. All podcasts, dude. I love podcasts.
What podcast you listen to?
So obviously Rogan.
Yeah.
I listen to The Order of Man.
Okay.
From Ryan Mickler.
Ryan Mickler,
Yeah, I
yeah.
like him a lot. Real as Fuck. I love that. With Andy Frisella and
Mhm.
DJ. I listen to Steve-O's. Steve-O's is really
Steve-O.
good. Yeah, the Nelk Boys actually have some really cool guests. I don't know if you've ventured in the Full Send podcast.
Mm-mm.
Or, you know who they are?
No.
The Nelk Boys?
No, who's
That's
that?
crazy. Yeah, so they're like these fucking. You don't know who the Nelk Boys are? Just YouTube them.
The Nelk Boys?
Yeah, and
How do you spell that?
NELK.
Nelk.
Like they came up famously like through making YouTube videos, like prank videos and shit. These dudes are fucking wild, man.
Really?
But they're pretty cool people to follow and watch. But they have a really good podcast, man. They have like amazing guests on there. Like they have fucking Dana White, like John Daly and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, people that I'm interested in, like to hear about and stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. They're
Dope. I'll check these guys
yeah,
out.
they're wild as shit. They're younger guys. They're early 20s, I think, mid 20s now.
Yeah.
But
Dude, podcasts have changed the world.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Like, my buddy and I, Alex, we had one. It was called the Cabo Penny Show. We still have all the episodes up and everything like that. And we tried it, man, and just he had a baby, and he moved a couple towns away, and, our
Mhm.
schedule, we worked together, so our schedules were kind of opposite at the time and shit. So we just kind of steered away from it. It sucks, but we did like 25 episodes. It was fun.
It's fun. It's a grind. It's
Yeah.
just a fucking grind, dude.
You got to be consistent with it too, man. You got
Yeah.
to keep your audience engaged and stuff. You can't make an episode and then not put one out for 30 days, 40 days, stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a huge thing too.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
We did too.
For
Yeah.
with the whole COVID thing,
Mhm.
because I do all these in person,
Mhm.
and I didn't really want to do any of them over Zoom.
I did one over Zoom during COVID. It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
I knew I could,
Yeah.
and I've done other people's over Zoom,
Same.
and it's just not really my jam.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna just take the hit.
Yeah, this is way better, I think.
Yeah.
It's more personable. You can connect more. I think it's more real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'm just a big, I'm just really into energy.
yeah, fuck
And I think it's important to
Mhm.
kind of have that energy exchange and to actually connect with somebody.
yeah.
The one of the main reasons, just selfishly, I started the podcast is I'm not naturally an empathetic person.
Same.
So dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, just cut your shit and let's get it done. So I wanted to create a way to actually talk to people and connect with them
Right.
and help kind of develop more of that empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, man, in person's the way to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the power of the internet too, man. Like I've never met you until today. You know what I mean?
You're
Now
right.
I'm sitting in your house at your table having a conversation, just a normal conversation about life, jiu-jitsu, work. It's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
fucking
you're
sweet.
a cool ass dude,
I
man.
appreciate it. You too, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you remind me so much of just that again, that whole trajectory.
Yeah.
It's just like that parallel is just so funny to me.
Yeah. It's life's crazy, man, and that's like my big goal, like that I've had the last like couple years is like improve my network, and I think like that fucking whole that modest saying of like keep your circle small. I agree with that, but at the same time, like I think you should definitely network.
Yeah, man,
You
get
know,
to know a lot of
I'm
people.
trying to be
for
everybody's
sure.
best friend and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm trying to make good connections.
Right, like your inner
Meet good
circle.
people.
Your inner
Yeah.
circle matters, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You're close knit people, but like I said, you're a cool dude. I mean, fuck it. This is awesome, and
Yeah.
I've met so many cool people just from like the internet. Reaching out.
Exactly.
Things like that. It's super cool, man.
Yeah, just expanded our network.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is a big link too. Like you get so many different, you get so many different walks of life from jiu-jitsu, like doctors, fucking nobody that has jobs, like fucking IT guys, nerds, like whatever.
Everybody.
It's cool as shit, man.
Absolutely.
Podcasters, things like that.
Dude, absolutely. You got people in the trades. You got plumbers and carpenters.
Guy that sells weed. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
cool, man.
Cops.
Yeah.
You get everybody, bro.
Yeah.
It's again, the community is my favorite part about
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to be a big shift in my life. Networking and stuff like that. I'm really big on like LinkedIn and social media and stuff, and
Mhm.
and it's not like to like get clout or like I always post like the miles that I run in the day, like on my Instagram story and stuff, like, or I'll have my feet running or like a picture of my gi, like getting ready to train and stuff. I don't do it for like clout and attention and people to like what I'm doing. I like to motivate people, and the people that have motivated me and inspired me and changed my life have shared their stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're public about their shit. So it's cool, man. And I get so many people, bro, that just like message me like, hey, dude, I started running because of you. Like all this shit, man. Like people are sending me Snapchat videos of them running like every day and like thanking me. Like that's so cool, man. I never thought that would happen.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm nobody. Like I'm just average dude, man. Average dude, man. It's crazy.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah, you just got to be confident. Your confidence is huge, man.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned over the last 2 years for sure. You don't have that. Life's tough. And there's an old I've heard on Andy Frisella's podcast before. Like ever since he said it, like I heard it like 3 years ago, and it's like you don't walk around like you're a bad motherfucker thinking that, nobody else will.
Right.
You know what I mean? And whether you are a bad motherfucker or not, but if you think that here, I think that's huge, man. That's
Yeah.
huge, bro.
You have to believe it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to embody what you want to
Because
be.
you're not going. If I don't, you're not going to believe in me. My mom's not. My dad's not. My neighbor's not. My girl's not.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, man.
Well, the thing is, you don't need permission. all
Absolutely
right?
not.
If you're waiting for permission, you're never going to get it. So
Nope.
you need to just start acting accordingly and be the person you want to be and create
Yeah.
the life that you want to create.
Starts with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
How what are you thinking? It starts with your mind.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about the world, about yourself? What do you think is actually capable? Do you have limiting thoughts? What's your self-talk like?
Yeah.
Do you have belief?
and I think a lot of people that have trouble finding that, man, I'd be like, hey, smoke some weed, man. Eat a few grams of mushrooms,
Yes.
Like, should open your eyes and change your perspective on a lot of shit.
Psychedelics will
Yeah.
shift some
Fuck
shit.
yeah, dude. Fuck, I know people that microdose that shit at work every day. They do like 0.2 of a gram, like
Yeah,
a very small
microdose.
amount.
Mhm.
Yeah, and helps with their anxiety, PTSD, like daily focus and stuff. Never done it personally. I've done them like to do them, but not like on a microdose level. It's interesting. Yeah. I'd be afraid to take them and then go to work and just be like, fuck, I took way too much or something crazy. So
I like so if you yeah, if as long as you don't take too much, a good microdose, it kind of yeah tunes me in.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
me focused.
It's like a little happy pill, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy, crazy.
Dude, have you read Jocko's books?
I've read the manual that he had, the black one. Fuck, what was it called? Not extreme ownership. It was his field manual.
Was it
It's like the big black book with his face on the bottom right of the cover. Can't think of the
Oh,
fucking name of it. I read it a long time ago. I still have it, obviously, but
which one is that? Is that his field manual one?
I think so. It was the very first one he came out
Um,
with.
I can't think of the fucking name of that. What is the
And it's cool, dude, because when I read it, it's literally his life, man, and what he preaches and posts daily. I listen to his podcast, too. I love his fucking podcast.
I really enjoy listening to him talk.
He's a very stern, direct dude, man. He's a good guy to follow.
You know, I like to discipline equals freedom.
That's what it is.
That
Yeah, I
one.
don't why the fuck I couldn't think of that.
Yeah. I have the leadership strategies and tactics. That's a
Haven't read
really
that.
good one. I really enjoyed the dichotomy of leadership and extreme ownership. Those are both really good.
Yeah, I'm reading right now, actually, about halfway through it. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah,
It's a good book, man.
that's a great book.
It was it started out a little slow, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, because like he goes into like experiences like when he's in New York and all these like things, but it like leads up to like the purpose of the book. You know what I mean? Like to smile more and interact with people and speak less, listen more, kind of thing. So it's cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
reading books is awesome. I think my favorite one that I've read so far. I love the Four Agreements. I've read that
Great
book
book.
like 3 times, man. It's just
Yeah.
I love the perspective aspect of that stuff.
yes. Yeah, I try to keep. I was just thinking about that book the other day. I was thinking, man, I should probably reread that because just the idea. I try to not take anything personal, and
Same.
it's hard sometimes because so for example, whenever I'm scheduling the podcast, and sometimes I don't hear back from people or some people cancel or whatever.
Sure.
Like I don't take that personal. I'm like, oh, it is what it is, no big deal.
Mhm.
I'm pretty good at that. But as I'm working on my business Impose Will and I'm growing it, and I just I kind of have this intensity where I kind of have like a little bit of a chip on my shoulder
Yeah.
where it's like I gotta fucking do this thing, and like if you're not with me, like fuck you type
Sure.
shit,
Yeah.
and I kind of have like a short fuse. It's like, all right, motherfucker. Where if you're not, I'm not gonna hear back from you, then fuck you. You're not gonna hear
Right.
back from me
Right.
ever, and you're gonna be real pissed off when I just fucking win,
Mm-hmm.
and you could have been. You could have been, but now you're not.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I just there's just that kind of like that fucking dark energy. I
Mhm.
have that too. So it's like this balance between
Yeah.
all right, I need to not take everything personal because that is a very true pillar. Like, don't take it personal. Like, whatever is going on with them is about them.
Huge.
So I have that understanding. Like, it's not about me.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the other part. It's like, all right, I'm gonna use that for my fucking energy though,
Fuck
and
yeah.
I want to fucking run you over.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So it's like,
Use that as fuel.
let's fucking go. So
yeah.
that's a really good book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fucking yeah. The values are solid. Don't take anything personal. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
Right. What was the other one? Don't personal best. Impeccable with your word.
Have
I
you
don't
lost
know.
friends like doing what you do now?
Yeah, I cut people out.
Yeah.
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 I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I lose people, man.
Because they don't believe in what you're doing, or they don't think it's the right thing, or.
No, sometimes it's just because I don't feel. Again, I'm really big about taking audit of the energy and the people that I allow around me.
Absolutely, man.
And if I feel that you're just not making choices that I agree with, or whatever you're doing just isn't what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, maybe you don't believe in what I'm doing, or
Mhm.
whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just if you're not on the same page as me, then it's just like I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'll let you do what you're doing,
I agree.
And I'll
Look
just-
at it the same way.
and we'll just go that way.
Yeah.
And that's just how I just operate.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even like a bad thing. It's like it's like no, it's not like I think anything's bad of the person or anything like
Mhm.
that. It's just like we're just on different trajectories.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
no worries.
And yeah, I'm kind of the same way too. I haven't like cut people off, but like I have people that I've hung around and grew up with, or people that are my friends, and every time I go around them, they make the same fucking excuse every single time. Like I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna start doing this, or I'm gonna find a new job, and like I don't see them for a year or 2 years, and they're doing the same fucking shit, dude.
Just
It's
Groundhog's
like,
Day, bro.
Like, yeah, man, you just talk, man. Action is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely people who I used to spend a significant amount of time with,
Mhm.
and then I just don't spend any time with anymore.
Yeah, I think of like people that I grew up with in high school that I hung out with, and if I was still hanging out with them, I'd be doing fucking nothing with my life right now.
No,
Be doing
man.
nothing, spinning in circles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I can't just sit on the couch
Talking
and play
about it.
video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I don't want to be that person, man. I don't want to be that person that lives with that, like, oh, I could have, I
Mhm.
should have, things like that. So I'm really trying to change that right now. So
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a bad thing, man. You
No,
know,
fuck
it's
no.
just a thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. It's not everybody's meant for the same things, and not everybody wants the same things. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Success and a happy life
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look the same for everybody, and
Yeah.
that's cool too.
Yeah.
You know, I know what it looks like for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what my goals are. So, we're just
Yeah.
gonna act accordingly.
Might just have to go down a different road, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. If you're content, bro, like if you're cool with just like your 9 to 5 job, being off on the weekends, kind of laying low and just doing that every day, totally cool. But I probably won't be hanging around you much. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, just personally, it's just personal.
Yes. Yeah. I just need to build my own thing, man. I'm
Mhm.
just so dead set, man. I know for a fact that Imposed Will is going to be a $1 billion company, and between
Gotta think
that and building this podcast, I'm just gonna create this fucking amazing life, and I'm just seeing it unfold. I'm just such a big believer in just the energy that you put out and your
Mhm.
intentions and living intentionally and acting accordingly. And you got to eat shit for a long time, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I
dude.
don't make a lot of money right now, but now I'm starting to make money, and it's
That's
like,
awesome.
fuck, dude. It's just you just see it,
Yeah.
and it's just I just know that A plus B equals C,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as I'm doing the things that I
Mhm.
need to do, everything's gonna fall into place, and it seems to be doing just that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's like, man, it's not if, it's when. So
Yeah.
here we go.
You just literally have to keep fucking showing up, man.
Just
Like
keep
every
showing
day.
up.
Yeah, and if you don't, that's when you'll notice. Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
know. And even when you think like you said earlier, like you keep showing up and you're like putting all this work in, all this fucking time, and days go by, months go by, and years go by, and you're just like, man, I'm in the same fucking spot, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just takes off. I feel like I've heard that story 1,000 times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, your time will
So-
come, man.
So here we go.
It's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I found you, like, that's literally how I found you. I don't even know if we have any like mutual friends or anything like that, but like I just
Uh-huh.
found your podcast one day through a tag or something, and I just started following you like 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just
really?
listening to your podcast and
That's
shit.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, actually, I listened to the one with Adam Marburger. That's kind of like where I
Okay.
started. I
Okay.
think that's where I might have
Probably.
seen him reshare that, and then that's kind of where it stemmed from there.
Probably.
Because I'm always looking for other podcasts and stuff too, other
Yeah.
people's perspectives and points of views and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
Adam's a good dude.
yeah, I don't really know him personally. I reached out to him one day on the internet just to talk like business one day, and I went and trained jiu-jitsu one day there, and it's kind of the last time I talked to him really. you know,
Really?
So yeah,
Yeah.
he's a busy guy.
He is a
I'm
busy guy.
So do my
Yeah.
own thing.
He's a hustler. That's
yeah,
why I like
see
him.
that. Yeah.
I don't talk to him often, but I just like his energy. I like having him as a friend.
Yeah, and that's the one takeaway I've learned from people from like Sean Whalen, Andy Frisella, and like these Dan Fly Show guys and stuff like that. It's like find people that are doing what you want to do and just fucking reach out to them. I don't know him. I don't know you. I'm just like, hey, dude, you want to talk some cannabis, man? Fuck it, let's do it.
do
Or
it,
hey, dude,
bro.
I see that you're head leader for a cannabis company. Yeah, I'd love to sit down and have coffee with you, man. Just talk to you. Just get to know you. Pick your brain. Like that's everything, man.
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, keep grinding.
Fuck yeah, always.
Fuck yeah. Well, Kyle, dude, I appreciate you.
No,
brother.
bro, appreciate you, man.
Tell the people where they can check you out. Is there anything you want to direct them to or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, come down to my store and see me at a Sit in Wellness in Collinsville. I'd love to, meet you and stop in and say hey if you listen to the show and stuff like that. But you can follow me on Instagram at kbowl618. I'm not on Facebook or anything like that. But yeah, man. So
Dope.
yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, everybody. Bye.